afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the News Point. Today, we are going to talk about the most important topic in the world, euthanasia, which is basically ending the life of the patient from the pain and suffering. And we have Mr. Jay Kumar Bhatt, who is human rights activist. So, Mr. Jay, first of all, tell us about what is euthanasia and its type.
Okay, basically, euthanasia is a terminal illness, which means a person who is on a vegetative state for a longer period of time. That means it could be also said as brain dead situation. If a person is not able to do any movement, like his heart is not pumping blood to other part of the body as compared to other normal human beings, normal humans. So that case could be considered as euthanasia. And it's a very debatable thing, as like the euthanasia could be derived into two categories. First thing is active euthanasia, second one is passive euthanasia. So far our government has given approval to only passive euthanasia, which means simply taking off the all the life care support which are being given to that patient who is suffering from that kind of condition in which a person can't do any type of movement.
So, in India, it is legalized, the passive euthanasia is legalized in India since March 2018. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, I agree with your point. It was legalized by the government of India in 2011 by a landmark judgment which was given by the Supreme Court. It was a case of a girl who was raped at the age when she was very young. So at the age she was raped, and till that time she was in coma. For next 40 years she was in coma, and on her behalf her friend had to file a PIL just because she was not able to bear the pain for a longer period of time. She wanted her friends all the suffering to end at that time. That's why this decision was taken by the government. But there are some clause which they have to keep in mind. Yeah.
So, the government has given a new, they have passed a new bill which is treatment for terminally ill patient. So, what are the saline features of that?
As far as I know, like if you're talking about terminally ill patients, there are some loopholes of this thing as well. If you're talking about terminally ill patients, like if you see like a cancer affected person, that person would not be having enough would not be having enough resources. If you're talking about a poor person, in that case they'll have to take this tough decision. They'll have to take this tough decision because they know that the person will not be able to survive for a longer period of time. So their family member have to take decision that whether they want to continue the treatment or continue the suffering of that person, or they want to end his life with dignity.
So, as active euthanasia is about giving the lethal injection to the patient into death without any pain and suffering. So, do you think it should be actually be legalized or not?
Well, I agree with your point, not fully, but you partially said it correctly, because as far as I know about active euthanasia is something like you are not giving injection or syringe to someone. Okay, it's a case you can give medicine as well, like a proper medication would be going on under the consultation of a specialized doctor, so that the suffering of that person could end. Okay, yeah, active euthanasia is legalized. It's not legalized in a country, but it's been legalized in Belgium and other countries. So if these countries can take a tough stand, because as far as I know that there was a case somewhere 1 or 2 years back, which was in BRD hospital. 2000 kid had died in that specific month. And if that enough hospital facility would have been provided to them, the condition would have been different. So I think so, if we are giving enough facility to these people who are not able to get back to their life, better to give those facility to those people who can get back to life. Yeah.
Talking about the euthanasia, can you tell us about in the respect of Article 21 and Section 309 of the Constitution?
Yeah, it's a very good thing. Like you're talking about right to live, that is Article 21.
21.
And 309, like if you're talking about Article 309 and you're talking about 309, if a person who is found committing suicide, that person had to be imprisoned. But as far as I think, that instead of imprisoning that person, better to give him the counseling, okay, so that the person can think about what should be done, okay, later on, because the mentality of that person could be changed. if government can do anything in this case, they have to decide, they have to intervene somewhere. Yeah.
So, why do you think that assisted suicide is bad?
Like,
And why is it bad?
no, I don't think assisted suicide is bad. But if you're talking about assisted suicide, there are 3 points which should be kept in mind. First thing is research fund. Like as far as you know about this ice bucket challenge, to get it implemented, it took a lot of time, and it was also something which was related with a disease. So for doing research work, you need fund, and for funding, you have to go to government, or you have to go to the authority who would be allocating the fund to you. Second thing is it's about unjust treatment as well. Like you can't kill anyone or anybody. You have to think about the family. You have to think about other people who would be, left behind that person. So you have to think about them as well. And third thing is egalitarianism. That means everyone has to be treated equally. Like if you're talking about our country, there are three type of people who are living here, like rich, middle class, and poor. Like poor can't afford those facilities which are given to rich class people. So that means government has to think about it, and they have to make some. They have to relax some laws so that these
So,
people.
as you were saying that in the case of
Aruna
Aruna Shanbag,
Yeah.
her friend
Huh.
Pinky, who was about to file a petition
Yeah.
to give her
She filed a
euthanasia,
petition. Yeah.
but she was not allowed to.
No, she did file a petition. She did file a petition. That's why she
And
was.
her, and her family members have left her for 40 years. So who in
Actually,
that
they
case,
didn't leave her. Actually, the thing was that it was a long period. No one can take care of the family member for more than 40 years.
So who should decide about her?
Firstly,
About the life of that patient.
If you're talking about this euthanasia issue, there is a living will, okay, which a person has to write in advance. If such kind of case arises in future, what should be done? Okay, so but again, as far as I know, that no one can decide about terminally ill, thing. Okay, so it is something different as far as my knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, so this were all about euthanasia, and if you want to give your opinion on it, you can give.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Well, it's a Glasgow comma scale. Okay. It's if you're measuring someone's sickness or someone's normal behavior, it is measured in GCS. That is Glasgow comma scale. For a individual, for a normal working person, it should be 15. But if a person who is brain dead, it's 3. So they have to keep, they have to keep a think on this thing in their mind. If a person is terminally ill, if a person is unable to show any movement, or as the doctor is the one who is going to take decision in this matter, they have to think about it. Like cardiac, if you go by the stats or data available from all the organizations, you will be getting to know that cardiac death patients, they contribute for 70%. 70%
What
of
actually is cardiac death?
cardiac death is someone who is not able to pump blood in the remaining part of the body through the heart. So that means his heart is not working as far as other people are concerned. Okay, the normal person is concerned, so it's not working properly. So it's 70%. 70% organ donor cases are coming from these cardiac patient. So they are somehow helping in donation work as well for those who are ill. Okay, that's the main thing.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Jaikumar Bhatt.
Yeah.
And Newspoint will bring other topics. Thank you.